So YouTube says over 30% of daily viewers watch live content. 30%. That's a third of everyone. That means if you walk into a room of 10 YouTubers, 3 of them are probably ignoring their families to watch a webcam pointed at a fish tank. So obviously that means if you're an American streamer, you're thriving, right? When YouTube says live, they don't just mean your basement setup and a capture card. They mean CNN pumping out breaking news every 6 minutes for eternity, and the BBC politely narrating the world's collapse. Lo-Fi Girl, who's been trapped in that room with her cat since 2017. Ambient channels that are literally a loop of a fireplace. So yeah, technically 30% of people are watching live. It's just that most of them are asleep with CNN autoplaying on an iPad. And here's the real trick. Most of these massive live spikes aren't even from the US. India, 8 million people tuned in for a rocket launch. Brazil, 5.5 million watching soccer on a YouTuber's channel. Japan, VTubers casually pulling 6-figure audiences nightly. Meanwhile, in the US, our big cultural live moment was Speed yelling at a mascot, which is great, but not exactly national unity levels. It's sports rights. The NFL, NBA, and all the big leagues locked behind paywalls like a dragon hoarding gold. So on YouTube, you don't watch the game. You watch a guy explaining the game with a whiteboard. News? Sure, but it's split across a dozen corporate channels. So instead of one mega stream, you've got hundreds of mid streams powered by caffeine and bad graphics packages. And Twitch? Well, they still siphon off half of the English-speaking live gaming audience. So US streaming live on YouTube is like a great party, but spread across 5 houses, 2 platforms, and 1 neighbor's shed. Now to be fair, English creators do have some wins. The Sidemen charity match pulled 2.5 million concurrents. iShowSpeed hits hundreds of thousands just to scream at pixels. Nintendo Direct always packs the room, and Lo-Fi Girl is basically the background radiation of the internet. But compared to rockets and national soccer streams, it's like showing up to a monster truck rally with a scooter. Let's be honest, the biggest US live streams on YouTube, they're not independent creators. They're corporate news and broadcast feeds. No small YouTuber in their basement is competing with NBC News in a newsroom full of 200 people. And even if they did, would YouTube push them over the brands? That's an adorable question. So let's actually break down the numbers. YouTube says 30% of the people watch live, but in the US, that shrinks to maybe 5 or 6% of total viewers. And inside that, about 4% are corporate news and broadcast feeds. Maybe 1% are independent streamers. And the last 0.5% is me watching an aquarium cam at 2 a.m. But the 30% looks way better in a press release than 0.5% of you tuned in to Timmy playing Fortnite in his basement. So yeah, if you're a small creator, you're not actually competing with your neighbor streaming Call of Duty. You're competing with Wolf Blitzer's forehead veins in glorious HD. And YouTube loves to say they support independent voices. But what they really mean is, we support independent voices unless Anderson Cooper is available. In which case, sorry Timmy. Independent creators can win if it's a tentpole event like Sideman. It's an appointment viewing like Nintendo Direct. It's personally driven chaos like Speed. Or it's a 24/7 loop people forget to turn off like Lo-Fi Girl. But outside of that, corporate owns the buffet. You're just sneaking out with a bread roll. So when YouTube says 30% watch live, the actual US translation is corporate news is doing great. Ambient channels never die. Independent creators, you get the crumbs. But hey, crumbs are still food. So thanks YouTube for reminding me that I'm competing with CNN and an entire space program. That feels super achievable. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.